Hello fellow cinephiles. So like I said, I'm going to continue on reviewing the Unbreakable series with Glass coming out. Today I'm reviewing Split. So this was yet again directed by M. Night Shyamalan and stars James McAvoy, Anya Taylor-Joy, Betty Buckley and Hayley Lou Richardson. It looks at Kevin Crumb, a man who has 23 identities, all very different and unique, all have their own characteristics, and it's sort of all these people living in this one body. Some are female, some are male, some are kids, some are adults. It's just a very interesting sort of thing, and it really looks at how he ultimately kidnaps these three girls, and they're to serve some sort of purpose. He talks about them being a gift in a way or a sacrifice to what's known as the beast. A particular person they talk about that we don't quite know who it is, obviously, until the film carries on and goes along, we ultimately revealed who the beast actually is. So we're not quite sure what these women, the point of the purpose of kidnapping these women and what they're going to do ultimately. And it looks at how these three girls band together and try and work out what's going on and trying to break free of being held captive in this hidden room and not knowing exactly where they are. One of the girls in particular starts to try and rally the other two, believing they need to attack and need to be smarter and all that sort of thing to keep hope and confidence going with these two girls. One girl in particular, Casey, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, is sort of surveying the circumstances, biding her time, trying to wait and see what's actually transpiring and how she may be able to escape and get out of this alive. We sort of learn a bit about her throughout the film, that particular circumstances happened to her. We get to see that she went hunting with her father and he trained her in sort of hunting and particular things, and she uses all the things she's learned in order to escape from where she's been held captive, trying to ultimately break free of this. And as it goes along, we start to meet a variety of these different characters, different personalities that are in Kevin. We meet Dennis, we meet Patricia, we meet Hedwig, who's a young 9-year-old boy, and it's just very interesting. And it all leads to quite a shocking ending, and we finally get to see who the beast is and what the beast wants. And it's quite a surprising film. There's a great tie-in at the end in regards to David Dunn, tying this once again to the Unbreakable film, as we look at a character that they call the Horde, who ultimately becomes a villain within the Unbreakable universe. And this is really sort of not necessarily his origin story, but we get to first glimpse of him and what he's capable of, and what two of the personalities' belief system is that the beast will arrive and take charge and show everybody who he truly is. There's a lot of twists and turns in this film, and it leads to a surprising ending with a great tie-in to Unbreakable. Look, I was hesitant when this film first came out to go and see it because I hadn't been a fan of M. Night's movies for quite some time. I hadn't really enjoyed any of them since his early sort of films. His last few weren't really great films, and I wasn't really impressed with him, and I lost hope a bit. They said his return was with The Visit, which I didn't see because it just didn't look very good. But this was truly his comeback film, I felt. I was really impressed with this film. The main reason I went to see it is because of the tie-in to Unbreakable. And I didn't really know a lot going in, but I was really impressed with what I saw. James McAvoy is absolutely astonishing this. The different characters he gets to play within the film are amazing. The characteristics he brings to them. So there's certain things he does that you know that's that particular character, which is brilliantly done. He's such a phenomenal actor, and his choices in this film are absolutely fantastic. And I can't believe he wasn't nominated or is more acknowledged for his performance here, because what a great performance he gives and what a great part he gets to play in this film. Anya Taylor-Joy is really solid here as Casey as well. He's ultimately his nemesis in a way. It's a character he goes up against who's quite smart and intelligent, has been through a whole lot of difficult things herself. And she does a really great job here. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a really great actress. I first saw her in The Witch and was really impressed with her performance here. There's also Betty Buckley, which I didn't know a lot about. She played the doctor in it, who was sort of treating Kevin in his 23 personalities. And I thought she did a solid job as well, and I was impressed with her character. There was a lot to like about this film. He sort of looked at the idea of human beings evolving into something bigger and stronger and better. And that without struggles and pain, they aren't able to evolve into something completely different or new. And I really like that concept. I really like how we got to see these three girls trying to outwit Kevin in his variety of personalities and how they go about that. And we really get to see Casey and what she's been through. And at the start of the film, she's got layers of clothes on. As the film goes on, she starts to strip the layers away. And it's a great metaphor for stripping the layers away for what's going on for her. And we get to see more of her and understand what she's been through and who she is as a person. And with each layer that's taken off, we learn more and more. And I think that was really smart and well organised and put together. It's beautifully shot. It's shot by the guy that shot It Follows, which is really great. The music's fantastic. The choices that are made by the actors and the scenes are great. Everything about this film is very solid and well put together and well thought out. They say that M. Night wrote this way before, like not long after Unbreakable, I think, way before his career sort of sunk down and people weren't really impressed by what he was producing and putting out there. But I think this is obviously a return to form. The fact he's working with Jason Blum, Blumhouse Pictures, is a brilliant idea because Blumhouse is a really fantastic production company and they're doing really great films, great independent films, giving directors money to go off and make the films they want to make, and is really impressed. And the combination of these two working together is brilliant. That they first worked together with The Visit and now with this film. The only criticisms I guess I would have about this film is there's a couple of scenes that don't really serve any purpose to the story or what's going on. There's one particular one where Betty Buckley's character is talking to a neighbour. They're sitting down watching Wheel of Fortune and they start talking about, the neighbour starts asking her questions about does she believe all the patients she has? Does she believe everything the patients are telling her? And the Buckley character says, yes, I do. And this girl, I don't believe them. And it doesn't really serve any purpose at all to anything. And I don't think it was really needed in the film. And it could have worked without that scene in a very similar way. The other scene is an exposition scene where Betty Buckley's character is explaining the different personalities and how it works and these multiple personalities that Kevin has within him. But I just feel that we don't really need that scene because things are explained throughout the film. We sort of get a sense of what's going on with scenes after that. So I think if you took this scene out as well, it would still serve the same purpose of not having it than having it. She also talks about how she's asked if something happens to her, then what happens to Kevin and these personalities? Who's going to help them then? And she says that she talks about how she has an associate in Baltimore who ultimately would be able to help them. And I think this is going to be the tie into Glass. This is going to be the Sarah Paulson character, I believe. And I'm hoping that it does all tie in like that. But besides those particular scenes, everything else sort of really works. The ending's really fantastic. The tie into back to Unbreakable is really good. The acting's solid and it's just well put together and the shots are amazing. The suspense is really well put together as well and you get a real sense of that. And you really like these particular girls and you want them to survive, especially Casey. You want them to survive and get through this, which is really fantastic. Final verdict. Look, I was impressed with this. If you like Unbreakable, it's definitely worth your time. If you like something that's a little different and a good solid thriller with a unique idea and premise in it, you might enjoy this as well. And if you like M. Night's early movies, you might enjoy this. And this is really, in my opinion, his comeback. And I'm really looking forward to Glass. I'm going to give Split 4.5 out of 5. I was impressed with it. And like I said, so the next film we'll be reviewing in this sort of trilogy is Glass when it comes out next week. I'll be happy if it's half as good as Split. I don't know if it's going to be good as Unbreakable because I think that's the best solid film. But if it got to as good as Unbreakable, I'd be really happy with that as well. And I really hope this is a success again for M. Night, as I'm a big fan of his early stuff, just not his later stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.